Basketball.
Welcome back to Notballtalk. It's your host Dietrich, back at you with another one. And today we're going to be talking about NBA playoff basketball. With today starting game one of the Pacers and the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Championship Finals. Just going to be walking you guys through how they got there, who I think probably going to win this series, and just walking down a little bit of the things that I liked in their last series and the things I didn't like in their last series. So starting off with the Indiana Pacers, I think they just came on top and beat the Knicks in the 7-game series. I believe it was 4-3 in a great fashion. In that game 7, it was like 130 to 109. I believe the Pacers is a good team when they are, get it going, playing together, and scoring high efficient buckets. But the Pacers is kind of like a night and day team. When they're on, they're scoring great. Everything is good. They're on top of the world. But when the Pacers isn't scoring efficiently, they can't get the ball moving around. They can't really find a way to get the ball in the basket. Then they tend to be a not so good team in my opinion, and it just looks like bad basketball. In the series when they played the Knicks, I believe they did a very decent job of offense some nights. On some nights, I believe the Knicks kind of just beat their self. But on some nights, I definitely believe the Pacers definitely came out and gave it their all, especially in that game 7 where it's a win or go home game. They left it all on the floor. They had a very great game 7 team, a very great game 17 win. I believe they had one of the the highest efficiency playoff games. They just couldn't miss that night. Now, what I think the Pacers' key to winning is if they would like to beat the Celtics in a good fashion. I believe they need Pascal Siakam to do what he kind of did this last series. I think he was averaging like 21 and 7. But I think they're going to need a little bit more out of him, probably average around that 23 to 25 mark. Well, a comfortable 23, a good strong 23 throughout the whole game, throughout the whole series, in my opinion. I believe he's definitely going to be their X factor on offense and defensively because he's probably going to get matched up on a Jason Tatum or a Jaylen Brown on some night to where he has to go out there and guard a guy who's trying to give him 30, who's trying, to score most of the points on their team and put points up on his head on the defensive side of the ball. Now, I think the biggest thing that the Pacers really have to do is they have to keep Tyrese Halliburton locked in all 4 quarters. He can't come out and have a great first half, and then once the game gets really close in that fourth quarter where the 150 million to 200 million guys need to show up, he kind of goes disappearing a little bit towards the end. He can't really do that against a great team, a great coach team in the Celtics. He can't afford to do that. The Pacers can't afford to do that because the way that the Celtics team is matched, he's going to have a Drew Holiday on him. He's going to have a Derek White on him to where he's getting annoyed on defense, and they're really trying to pick his pockets, get him uncomfortable throughout the whole series to where he can't really shy away from the moment. He has to step up, step to the plate, and play big boy basketball. But the Pacers, I believe they can do it. Me personally, I don't think they will win this series. I think they did have a great playoff run. I still believe the Knicks probably should have won that series, but they had some setbacks with a couple injuries throughout the playoffs, to where they just couldn't overcome. But I think the Knicks still had a great playoff run. I think they have a bright future ahead of them. The Knicks have found their guy in Jalen Brunson. He's shown the world that he's more than capable of being a top 5 point guard in this league. He can just do it all, score the basketball. He can play make. He may be a little bit undersized to defend, but he's not scared to put his body out there and to, and to play defense with the best of them. I do believe the Knicks probably needed to seek to trade Julius Randle in this offseason. He's a good player, but I think he's probably not the best player for the Knicks going forward. They did a lot of damage without him this year, so he can't go back to the Knicks. They may rock out with him again and see what they can do with Julius Randle, but I think he takes the ball out of Jalen Brunson's hands a lot because he needs the ball in his hands to score. So I think they probably need to bring a off ball type of guy, a better defender, and just let them work out because they found a good center who could crash the boards, pick and roll. He could do everything you need down low from a center. But on to the Celtics route to the championship. I believe they played a couple hobbled teams in the Heat with no Jimmy Butler. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they really had an easy way to the conference championship, which rightfully so they earned throughout the whole regular season. They were the number 1 seed of the East. They only lost 18 games, so they very worked hard for this number of seeds at the playoff, throughout the regular season, to where they earned having an easy route to the conference championship. So I believe that it was easy. A lot of people don't really like it, but you work hard, 82 games, 80 games throughout the regular season. You reward yourself with an easy route to the championship, and now you just have to go in there and handle business, which they did against almost every team they faced upon so far. With the Heat, blew them out the water, no question. The Cleveland Cavaliers didn't really have no problems with them, no question. Even though the Cleveland Cavaliers had a little bit of injuries too with Donovan Mitchell and somebody else. So I mean, but nonetheless, the Celtics went in there and handled business like they were supposed to, game in, game out. I think the key for the Celtics really to beating the Pacers in dominant fashion is going to be Jason Tatum getting out of cruise control and really turning on that killer mentality. I think he really needs to average a strong 28 points. I'm gonna say he needs to average around 28, 8-6 around this conference championship for it to be a statement going into the finals, for people to recognize, like, okay, he's not in cruise control no more. He's not playing around no more. This championship, Jason Tatum really needs to win to solidify himself. I think he's been to the playoffs these past couple of years. He has experience now. This year should be the year that the Celtics should win it. It should be no hesitation or questions, no more excuses for the Celtics. They need to win it this year without a doubt. And Jason Tatum needs to really show the world that, okay, like, I'm here. This is my time now, in my opinion. But the Celtics, they don't have Kristaps Porzingis. He faced an injury earlier on during the playoffs, so I think that kind of hurts him a little bit. He was a good shot blocker. He was a good scorer for the Celtics offense, but I think they made it far within the playoffs before, to where he doesn't play that big of a role. This Celtics team pretty much is the same team when they played the Warriors. Pretty much is the same team that, like, they went to the playoffs with multiple times before. They got the same main pieces, same core pieces for them to keep going. So I think they still are a heavy offensive force to handle, but they also are a great defensive team to where they could give the Pacers problems almost everywhere on the court, wherever you match them up with. But I think the Celtics probably will win this series in probably around 6 to 8. Sit around game 5 to 6, I believe. I think the Celtics just over talented, better chemistry. Just a better team on offense and defense side of the ball, where I think the Pacers really just can't handle it, in my opinion. I think the Celtics is a better team. They're going to go on to the championship. But I do have the Pacers losing in the the Celtics losing in the championship if they face the Timberwolves. But that's for another episode. Thank you guys for tuning in to Notballtalk. It's your host, Dietrich, signing out.
He passed me the ball. He never passed me the ball.